Eddie from the Heights has a question about radiant barriers.
He wants it installed correctly.
Okay. Spray it on.
Eddie, well, that's actually part of his question. He says, does it make a difference if a radiant barrier is applied directly to the back of the decking or use the sheeting that's attached to the rafters to create an open airspace between the barrier and the decking, which is what I thought you've always said is the best way to do that kind of thing. Tom, what say you?
When radiant barriers first came out, that was the typical way to do it for many reasons. But this whole idea that you have to have this sheet of air moving behind the radiant barrier is found to be unnecessary. Anytime you have ridge vents and soffit vents, the air only moves along the underside of the roof deck. Okay. It very slowly migrates up. That's why people say my attic feels so hot, because they have no air blowing over their skin. You don't want that. You want the heat to go straight to the top until it hits the roof deck, and then it slowly migrates to the outside, collecting all the moisture on the way, because hot air collects moisture. And that's the reason you have attic ventilation. So the radiant barrier can go anywhere and be just as effective. So the easiest thing to do is spray it on the rafters. Now, if you're putting up sheets of it, it's easier to spray it on the bottom of the roof decking, excuse me. If you're putting sheets of it up, it's easier to staple it into the rafters, because staples don't work well into plywood, which is usually a roof deck. So people tend to put it on the bottom of the rafters because it will hold the staples better.
Plywood, you hope. More likely.
Well, OSB is even worse with a staple, but I don't even think that.
I don't even think that way.
Yeah.
He just thinks about the right way to do it, and you can learn more about those ways by visiting HomeShowRadio.com and clicking on the Ask Tom tab.